There's so many tiny little sprouts right now. It's awesome. I spent an entire day digging compost into these beds to make the soil a little bit richer. I can see some beets coming up over there as well, and a few more beets in this bed, and some radishes. So that's awesome. James and I weren't sure how much we were going to be here this summer, so we were debating whether or not to plant a garden this year, but honestly, it just brings me so much joy to have my hands and feet in the dirt and just watching things come to life. It just feels so good. So even if we're not here to get to eat some of these things, I hope someone else here on the property can enjoy them. But I love now that the season is changing and it's starting to warm up. I'm finding myself outdoors in the mornings more. It's just such a nice way to start the day. There's something about being outdoors first thing in the morning that really grounds you in for your day. It's just so peaceful out here, and the sounds of the birds, and that just kind of makes any anxieties you're feeling or any worries just melt away. So it's a really beautiful way to start the day, and I'm trying to do that more often rather than just hopping on the computer and getting stuck in things that I feel like I need to do. Just making time for being outdoors and grounding in. It's a really good shift. So I'm gonna try and keep it up. There's tons of rhubarb, so I was thinking maybe I would make a crisp or maybe some rhubarb oat bars. It'd be awesome with some strawberries, but they're not quite ready yet. But I do have some canned peaches from last year, so maybe I'll make something with those. It's been a really cold and rainy spring this year. So winter has felt like it's just been dragging on, especially where we live. Here in this valley, we're at a little bit of a higher elevation, and it's just been really cold in the mornings and definitely overnight, and lots of rain, which isn't so surprising because we live in a rainforest. I was just putting up the laundry and an owl flew overhead and landed on the branch above me, and I tried to get it on camera, but it was being tormented by the robins and the blue jay. Super majestic. We've been hearing the owl, but we actually haven't laid eyes on it, especially not in the daytime. It's not so common around here, so that was really cool. Oh, I just had to run and get the clothes. I spent all that time hanging them up, and then the sky opened up and it just bucketed rain. It's raining so hard. It's really beautiful though. The sun is shining, and I just love the sound of the rain on the roof in here. We've gotten so much rain, like more than normal, and there are just oyster mushrooms blooming everywhere. It's crazy. I've never seen so many. Usually I know where to find them, but I have to search a little harder, and this year they're just everywhere I look. Normally you find them growing on dead hardwoods, especially alders, and there's lots of alders in this area. They also really like cool and damp weather. So after some of the heavy rains we've had, they've just exploded. And it's just really beautiful to see everything coming to life this time of year. We planted a garden last year, but we weren't really here as often as we thought, and the summer was scorching hot, like 40 degrees every day, and everything in our garden basically fried. Everything was dead. And this year, because the spring has been so wet and cool, everything is thriving. Our garden is just full of life. This year we have so many mesculins, the beets look great, there's peas and carrots and just so much abundance in the garden. It's really, really exciting. I guess I've just really come to appreciate the seasons as I get older, and especially now where we're basically living nestled in this forest, you just really start to appreciate all the differences the seasons bring. So our bed backs onto the creek here, and there's just kind of open area where some of the trees have died back, and we're able to see the change in the ferns every single day. So throughout the spring season, the ferns have just been slowly unfurling, and we get to watch that day by day, which is just such a beautiful experience and really connects you to the changes going on around you. I think previously when I was living in busy cities or suburbia, I wasn't surrounded by nature in this way. I had to go out of my way to find it. And so I really felt kind of out of rhythm with the seasons. And I think because of that, I didn't enjoy seasons the way that I do now. I really didn't like spring or winter when it was cold, and I just didn't see the beauty in those seasons, and really felt a strong pull to summer because it was warm, basically. But now I feel like I just enjoy every part of the year and what each month brings, learning which plants bloom at different parts of the year and which flowers you can see and the different mushrooms that bloom. Just getting into a real deep connection with nature. I guess I'm kind of lost for words for how to explain how good it feels to be more connected to it all.